it's needed now more than ever. And I don't think we ever really expected that the world would shift that way from where we were 5 years ago when we started the show. I mean, things needed to be said back then, but even just it feels way more urgent now.
I feel like that's just always how it goes historically. I feel like we do that. We make this progress. It happened in the 1960s and the 1970s. There was this liberation, this revolution that was happening, and then everybody got scared and they walked it back. And I think that we're approaching a sea change in society, and it's the reason why shows like Orphan Black are even given a platform in the first place. And the response is just fear. And so I feel like even though we're seeing the bombshell of opposition to all of these ideas about science and about gender and sexuality and women's rights, and we're sort of seeing the effect of the opposition, and it feels very loud. To me, it just kind of feels like it's the last, the dying breath of the fight. It's just the fearful response to it. And when the opposition is the loudest, when there's the most fanfare, and we feel like, you know, the fight is the most tense, I think it's actually just because we're winning. And I think, I don't know, thematically, I just think that's kind of interesting because it's exactly what's going on with the sisters in this entire season of the show. It's really hard. The last season it's very tense, and they're fighting harder than they've ever fought before. And
I think that one of the things about the show has been the idea of family, of an other kind of family, of a chosen family, of a way to find that. And that's one of the things we've seen as well. Like the Women's March was an extraordinary symbol of community and chosen family and chosen idea, and we will not be oppressed. And so although the bigger picture seems bleak and kind of right changes to the right seem to be happening in the world, it's also pointing out to all the people who are not in that position, we need to make our voices heard, and we need to come together, and we can choose which way we want to go. So I think that's an incredible thing to see, as well as the bad stuff. To see the coming together, good stuff is really powerful.
Absolutely.
You know, Tatiana, in your Emmy acceptance speech, you praised the show for really putting women at the center. And I imagine all of you are very proud to be on a show that does that. So hoping that maybe you could speak to that, or how it directly relates to the storytelling in the final season.
Yeah, it's always been about womanhood and about just being a human, being a complex human being who is defined by more than your genetics or your aesthetic or your gender or anything. So we continue to tell that story, and I think we do that through all the characters. And like you're saying, it's all about family and it's all about community and how individuals together are stronger together. You know, I don't know. God, there's so much to talk about in that. Yeah.
And also just in a very simple way, I mean, there aren't that many shows that have so many really well-written, complex characters who are over 25 or well over 25. Do you know, there's all the fantastic actors we've had in, Kyra Harper, Rosemary Dunsmore, Nora McClellan, like they love women, and they don't need them to conform to a certain age or shape or look. And it's a simple thing, but it's really encouraging. Like, you can't be what you can't see. It's just great to have that representation as a person who's a little bit over 25.